I was 6 again, small enough that the hallway looked like a tunnel that went on forever. The wallpaper peeled in long gray strips, dripping something thick and warm onto the carpet. At the far end, a shadow moved, my mother's silhouette, the curve of her dark hair catching the little light that leaked in. "Eli," she whispered, voice thin as radio static. "Eli, come here, baby. They're almost here." I tried to run. My legs felt glued to the floor. My mouth opened, but the scream came out like wet paper tearing. "Mom, I'm coming." Another step. Another. The hallway stretched longer with every heartbeat. A door appeared on my right, no knob, just a keyhole shaped like a screaming mouth. A key rested in my palm, heavy and sticky. When I looked down, it was coated in fresh blood. Etched into the brass was a single number, 11. I jammed the key in. The door swung open on its own, the room inside was huge and empty. I shrank. Suddenly I was 3 feet tall, barefoot, the bloody key now the size of a baseball bat in my tiny hands. I dropped it. It hit the floor with a wet slap. "Eli," she stepped out of the darkness. Long pale legs first. Then the nightgown, once white, now gray and clinging to her thighs with dark, spreading stains. Blood ran in steady lines from beneath the hem, tracing purple veins that pulsed like living things. I tried to scream again. Nothing came out but hot, sour air. Cold fingers clamped around my shoulders and shook. "Eli. Eli, wake up." My eyes snapped open. Aunt Mara was leaning over the couch, face pale, curlers still in half her head. "You were screaming loud enough to wake the dead, kid." I sat up, soaked in sweat, 13 years old again but still feeling small. "Sorry. Bad dream." Uncle Ray grunted from the kitchen. "Again?" Mara gave me the same soft, pitying smile she always did. "Want to talk about it?" I shook my head. I never did. Talking made it stay longer. I grabbed my phone from between the couch cushions, slipped on sneakers, and rolled my bike out the back door. Next door, the usual chaos was already in full swing. Mr. Delgado's garage door was up, and the screech of a circular saw cut through the morning. Sparks flew. The air smelled of scorched wood and ozone. A plank shot out of the garage like a missile and landed inches from my front tire. I swerved. From the darkness inside stepped Milo, 12, tall, scarecrow thin, wearing welding goggles and a bright yellow kitchen apron that said "Kiss the Cook" in faded letters. He flipped the goggles up. His left eye was already swelling purple. "Hey, Eli. Hey, mad scientist. Still building the end of the world?" Something like that. He grinned, then winced when the bruise pulled. "Come on. You gotta see this." He disappeared back into the gloom. I followed the sound of clanking metal. When he stepped out again, he was inside a rolling wooden fortress the size of a refrigerator box. Random nails stuck out like porcupine quills. His bike was somehow welded to the bottom, wheels poking out beneath like a turtle's legs. "You're gonna ride in that?" "Armor, Eli. Full medieval upgrade." He thumped the side. "Try to hit me." I picked up the plank that had almost taken my head off and tossed it lightly. It bounced off with a hollow thud. Milo beamed. "See? Impenetrable." His father's voice roared from inside the house. "Milo Delgado, get your ass in here before I come out there with the belt." Milo's face fell. He started pedaling frantically, the whole box wobbling like it might collapse. "Meet me at the park. Bring Nora and Liv." The wooden tank tipped over halfway down the driveway. Milo spilled out, scrambled up, and vanished inside before the screen door slammed like a gunshot. I biked toward the park alone, wind whipping the dream out of my hair. Nora and her little sister Liv were already on the moss-covered bench that leaned drunkenly toward the weeds. "Where's the walking disaster?" Nora yelled. She was short, freckled, light brown hair in a messy ponytail, thick glasses that made her green eyes huge. "Domestic disturbance," I said. "He'll catch up." Liv waved shyly. She was 9, all elbows and knees, bangs cut crooked by Nora with kitchen scissors. We waited, sharing a warm orange soda. The sun climbed. Cicadas buzzed like faulty wiring. Finally the wooden tank appeared, creaking and swaying. Milo rolled to a stop, extracted himself, and immediately face-planted into the grass. "Behold," he panted, "the turtle." Liv giggled. "It's a turtle with a bike." Milo stood, brushing leaves off his bruised cheek. Phase 2 of Apocalypse Preparedness. "Follow me." He led us into the woods behind the park, Liv clinging to his hand like a barnacle. 10 minutes later he stopped and swept his arm dramatically. "Tieda." It was a shack. Or what was left of one. Half the walls had rotted away. The roof sagged like wet cardboard. Brownish planks leaned together the way drunks lean on each other at closing. Tenora raised an eyebrow. "You want us to fix that?" "I've got tools. We just need wood." His eyes gleamed. "I know exactly where to get it. Mary Street used to be beautiful once. Now every house sat empty, windows boarded or shattered, lawns swallowed by kudzu. The train tracks at the end hadn't seen a train in 20 years. Milo led us to the biggest house on the corner, a crumbling 3-story Victorian with a widow's walk and paint peeling in long white curls. "Me. Our new headquarters," Milo announced. "No parents. No rules. Total survival bunker." We pried floorboards from a downstairs parlor. The wood came up easy, still rich chestnut beneath decades of dust. Liv stacked pieces like a pro. Nora and I sneezed in unison. Why sneezing turned into a full-blown fit. Eyes watering, throat raw. "Take 5, Nora said, shoving me toward the front door. "You're probably allergic to 100 years of dead people." I stepped onto the porch, sunlight hitting my face like warm water. "Eli," the whisper floated down from the second floor. I froze. "Come find me, baby," it was her voice. Exactly the same as the dream. I squeezed my eyes shut. Orange light pulsed against my eyelids. My heart hammered so hard I felt it in my teeth. When I opened them, I was already moving. The grand staircase gaped like a broken jaw, steps missing, railing splintered. I climbed anyway, hands gripping the banister, splinters biting my palms. Second floor hallway. Peeling floral wallpaper. A single metal door at the far end. No handle. Just a slot at the bottom. Something scratched on the other side. "Mom." My voice cracked. The slot flipped open. 2 bloodshot eyes stared out, wide, wet, inches from mine. "My baby," the door creaked open on its own. I don't remember screaming. I only remember Nora's voice from downstairs, sharp with panic. "Eli. Eli." Then running. Footsteps pounding up rotten stairs. Milo's breathless swearing. They found me curled on the hallway floor, staring at nothing, cheek pressed to the cold wood. I don't remember how we got home. I only remember the flyer Milo pulled off the gas station bulletin board later that night. "Missing, have you seen me? Eli Rivera, age 13, last seen July 12. Below my school picture from last year, in bold red letters, object 11 of 538. Call if you have information. 215-995-3047. And underneath, in smaller type that made my stomach drop, "They must never come together." We sat in Nora's living room staring at the flyer like it might bite us. The popcorn bowl sat untouched. An old black and white horror movie flickered on the TV with the sound off. The only noise was the tick-tick-tick of the kitchen clock and Liv's nervous breathing. Nora finally spoke. "It's a prank." "Has to be." "Then why does it have Eli's actual picture?" Milo asked. His bruised eye had swollen shut now, he looked like a raccoon wearing a welding apron. "And why does it say, Object 11? I whispered. My voice sounded like someone else's. Liv hugged her knees. "Maybe it's a game. Like that creepypasta thing you read, Milo." Milo went pale. "Don't say creepypasta right now, Liv. Just, don't." I pulled out my phone with shaking fingers and dialed the number at the bottom of the flyer. It rang 5 times. Each ring sounded farther away, like it was echoing down an empty hallway. Then someone picked up. Silence. "Hello?" I said. "Nothing." "Hello. This is Eli. Eli Rivera. Whoever put these flyers up, this isn't funny." A woman's scream exploded through the speaker, so loud the phone jumped in my hand. We all flinched. Liv clapped her hands over her ears. Then the screaming dropped to a ragged whisper. "Eli, come home, baby." The voice was wet, metallic, like a rusty hinge trying to speak. Nora grabbed the phone. "Who is this? What do you want?" Static. Then, soft and close, "They're looking for you, they're getting closer. I can keep you safe." The call ended that I stared at the black screen until it blurred. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. Nora's mom, Vanessa, got home around midnight. She smelled like bar smoke and cheap wine. She took one look at us camped out in the living room and sighed. "Bed. Now. School night tomorrow." "It's summer," Nora muttered. "Don't care. Go." We pretended to obey. As soon as her snores started rumbling down the hall, Nora crept back out. I was already waiting in the dark hallway. We sat on the front steps, knees touching. "What is happening to me?" I asked the night. Nora was quiet for a long time. "Your mom, she didn't die in childbirth, did she?" I shook my head. The truth tasted like rust. Aunt Mara and Uncle Ray told me she bled out after I was born. Said it was my fault. But last night Vanessa said, "I heard," Nora cut in. "She said your mom's in Chestnut Hill Psychiatric." The name sat between us like a loaded gun. Nora bumped my shoulder. "We're going tomorrow. All 4 of us. We'll find her. We'll get answers." I wanted to believe it would be that simple. Morning came too bright and too hot. Milo showed up with a black eye and a backpack full of tools, just in case. Liv insisted on coming. Nora didn't fight her. We took the 11:15 bus across town. Milo spent the whole ride whispering about something called the Holders. "It's this old internet legend," he said, scrolling on his cracked phone. 538 cursed objects scattered around the world. If anyone ever collects them all, reality ends. Like, full-on apocalypse. No heaven, no hell, just, nothing. Liv's eyes went round. "And Eli is one of the objects?" "Object 11, Milo corrected. Says here the objects choose seekers. People get obsessed. They hear voices. They dream about the objects calling them. And the Holders," he swallowed, "the Holders guard the objects. Some are human. Some aren't anymore." Nora rolled her eyes so hard her glasses slid down her nose. "You believe everything 4chan tells you?" But I couldn't laugh. Because every word felt like it fit the shape of the hole inside my chest. Chestnut Hill Psychiatric Hospital looked nothing like the horror movie asylums in Milo's stories. It was clean, modern, almost pretty, long white building, green lawn, willow trees swaying like they were trying to wave us away. The lobby smelled like lemon cleaner and old coffee. A guy in his 20s sat behind a curved white desk, typing. "Hi," I said. My voice cracked. "We're here to visit someone. Name? Catherine Rivera." He typed. Frowned. Typed again. "No patient by that name." Milo leaned over the counter. We're looking for the holder of life. The guy froze. Then, without a word, he stood and disappeared through a door behind him. Great, Nora hissed. Now they're calling security. But the door opened again and a woman stepped out. Mid-40s, short snow-white hair, eyes like wet coal. Hello, Eli. My stomach dropped. How do you know my name? Your request has been approved. She smiled without warmth. Only one visitor allowed. The rest must wait here. Nora's grip on my arm turned painful. I'm coming with him. No exceptions. The woman's gaze flicked to Nora, then back to me. She's been waiting 13 years, Eli. Shall we? I looked at my friends. Milo gave a tiny, terrified nod. Liv was crying silently. Nora looked like she might punch the woman. I'll be okay, I lied. The woman led me through the windowless door. The hallway beyond was too white, too quiet. Cells lined both sides, small round windows set high in each door. Faces pressed against the glass as we passed. Some screamed. Some whispered, "They're coming for you." Some just stared with empty, bleeding eyes. At the end of the hall was a metal door older than the rest of the building, rusted at the edges like dried blood. The woman selected a key from a ring heavy with dozens. She'll be so happy to see you. The door opened into darkness. Gray light leaked through a slit window near the ceiling. A hospital bed sat in the corner. Someone lay beneath a thin white blanket. Mom. My voice was a child's again. The figure sat up slowly. She was beautiful in the way broken things sometimes are. Long black hair, pale skin, huge dark eyes. Exactly like the woman in my dreams, only older. Tired. Real. Eli, she breathed. My beautiful boy. I ran to her. Chains rattled. Her wrists were shackled to the bed frame. I dropped to my knees. They told me you were dead. I asked them to. She reached as far as the chains allowed, cupped my cheek with cold fingers. I wanted you safe. Normal. For as long as possible. Safe from what? Her smile cracked. A red spot bloomed on the blanket over her stomach. You're hurt, no, baby. I'm keeping you safe. The red spread faster, soaking through the fabric. Bring the objects together. If all 538 are united, everything ends. Not just people. Reality. Time. Everything. The stain was the size of a dinner plate now. I don't understand, you're Object 11, Eli. You were never born the way other children are. You were, placed. Hidden inside me so they couldn't find you. Her voice cracked. I thought if I stayed locked away, they'd stop looking. Blood poured between her fingers as she clutched her belly. The blanket fell away. Her stomach was splitting open. Not a wound, an opening. Pink, wet, alive. The skin peeled back like flower petals made of meat. Come home, Eli, she whispered, tears and blood mixing on her cheeks. Let me keep you safe forever. The opening widened, revealing a dark, pulsing cavity far too large for a human body. I screamed and stumbled back. The skin stretched toward me, long and rubbery, ending in tiny pink fingers that grabbed my ankles. I fell. It dragged me across the floor. My legs folded wrong, bones snapping like green sticks so I would fit. I clawed at the smooth concrete, fingernails shredding. The last thing I saw was my mother's face smiling down at me as the flesh flowers closed over my head. Then darkness. Warm. Wet. Close. Safe. Somewhere far away, I heard the white-haired woman lock the door behind us. Object 11 of 538 has been returned to its holder. They must never come together. I never left that room. I know that now. Time stopped making sense. There was only the warm, wet dark and the slow thump of a heart that wasn't mine. My mother's body had become a pocket, a womb, a vault. I floated inside it, folded so small that my knees touched my chin, bones healed wrong but painless. She hummed lullabies I'd never heard when she was alive, or when I thought she was dead. The sound vibrated through the walls of meat that held me. Sometimes the white-haired woman came. I heard the key ring jangle, the door creak, her soft footsteps. She never spoke to my mother anymore. She spoke to me. Still safe, Object 11, she would whisper through the layers of skin and muscle. Still separate. Good boy. I tried to scream the first few times. My mouth was full of fluid. After a while I stopped trying. Outside, weeks turned into months. Nora, Milo, and Liv never gave up. They came back to the hospital every Saturday. The desk clerk pretended not to recognize them. The white-haired woman was always in a meeting. Security threatened to call the police. Nora started sneaking in through the service entrance with Milo's bolt cutters. Liv stood lookout, small enough to hide behind trash cans. They broke into filing rooms. They stole visitor logs. They found my name written in red ink on a single yellowed page, Rivera, ELI, Object 11 status, return TO holder location, sublevel 3, isolation vault 11 do not remove under any circumstance. Milo went pale when he read it. Sublevel 3 isn't on any map. Nora copied the page anyway. They started researching the holder's legend obsessively. Late-night Discord calls. Burner accounts on dead forums. They learned there were 537 other objects hidden the same way, inside living people, inside statues, inside songs, inside dreams. They learned that every few years a new seeker appeared, pulled by invisible strings, hunting the pieces. They learned that seekers always fail. But they weren't seekers. They were just kids who missed their friend. Winter came. The shack in the woods finally had walls and a roof. Milo turned it into a war room, maps pinned to the inside of rotting plywood, strings connecting locations, a stolen hospital directory open to the page with my name. Liv drew pictures of me on every margin. Nora hadn't slept properly in months. One night in February, Milo found the service tunnel blueprints on an old city planning archive. There was a freight elevator that went down to sublevel 3, hidden behind the laundry building. They went in at 2 a.m. wearing black hoodies and headlamps. Liv carried a backpack full of lock picks Milo had 3D printed. Nora carried a crowbar and the kind of calm that comes after you stop being afraid. They found the elevator behind a stack of broken gurneys. It smelled like rust and bleach. The doors groaned open like they hadn't been used in decades. Floor buttons only went to B2. Milo pried the panel open with the crowbar. Beneath was a single unmarked red button. Nora pressed it. The elevator dropped so fast their stomachs flipped. When the doors opened, they stepped into a hallway that didn't belong in any hospital. The walls were raw concrete, dripping with condensation. Red emergency lights pulsed like a dying heartbeat. At the far end was a metal door with a faded number 11 painted in white. Nora's hand shook as she raised the crowbar. Milo whispered, "If we open this, we might not be able to close it again." Liv looked up at them, eyes huge in the red glow. Eli's waiting. Nora brought the crowbar down. The lock shattered. The door swung inward on screaming hinges. The room was exactly as I remembered it, slit of gray light, hospital bed, chains. Only now the bed was empty. My mother sat in a corner instead, knees drawn to her chest, rocking. Her nightgown was soaked dark. Her belly had healed into a smooth, pale scar shaped like a closed eye. She looked up when the light hit her face. For a second she was just a woman. Tired. Broken. Human. Then the scar on her stomach twitched. "Get out," she rasped. "You'll wake him." Nora stepped forward. Where is he? My mother's eyes filled with tears and terror. Safe. Finally safe. Please don't make me give him back. Milo's voice cracked. He's our friend. He was never your friend, she whispered. He was never anyone's. He's a key. A piece. And if all the pieces come together, we know, Nora said softly. The world ends. But leaving him here isn't saving the world. It's just making him disappear. My mother began to sob. The scar split open. Slowly, gently, like a flower greeting sunrise. Inside was darkness. And in the darkness, two small eyes blinked open. My eyes. I unfolded the way a spider unfolds from its egg sac, too many joints, too little space. My body had grown wrong, curled and compressed for months. Bones grated. Skin tore and reknit as I stretched. I took one step. Then another. My voice came out wet and ancient. Nora. She dropped the crowbar. Milo started crying. Liv ran forward and hugged my waist so hard my ribs creaked. My mother reached for me, chains rattling. Don't take him. They'll find him again. I knelt in front of her. Touched her cheek with fingers that didn't feel like mine anymore. I'm sorry, I said. Then I stood and walked to my friends. Behind us, my mother screamed, a sound like metal dragged across bone. The scar sealed itself with a wet, sucking pop. We ran, alarms began to wail as we sprinted back down the red hallway. Doors slammed open. Orderlies in white coats poured out, faces blank, eyes black from side to side like oil slicks. Milo swung his backpack. Lock picks and tools scattered like shrapnel. Nora grabbed my hand. Her palm was warm. Real. We made it to the elevator. Liv jammed the close button with both hands. The last thing I saw before the doors shut was the white-haired woman standing in the middle of the hallway, smiling the way someone smiles when they've already won. The elevator lurched upward. We didn't speak until we were outside, gulping cold night air under a sky full of stars. I looked down at my hands. They were too long. Fingers too thin. Veins dark under pale skin. What am I? I asked. Nora met my eyes. You're Eli. That's enough. Milo nodded, tears freezing on his cheeks. We'll figure the rest out later. Liv slipped her tiny hand into mine. Let's go home. We biked through empty streets, for shadows stretching long under streetlights. Behind us, far away, the hospital lights went dark, one by one. I never went back to Aunt Mara and Uncle Ray's house. We live in the shack now. Milo reinforced the walls with steel plates he borrowed from construction sites. Nora rigged solar panels and a satellite dish. Liv planted flowers around the door even though it's February. Sometimes at night I hear my mother calling from very far away, her voice traveling through pipes and dreams and blood. Sometimes I feel the scar on my own stomach itch, wanting to open again. But when that happens, Nora sits beside me until the feeling passes. Milo tells terrible jokes. Liv falls asleep with her head on my shoulder. I still don't know what I really am. I still don't know if saving me doomed everything. But for the first time in my life, I'm not alone. And maybe that's enough to keep the dark from swallowing the rest of the world. At least for now. Object 11 of 538 is no longer in its holder. They must never come together. But some doors, once opened, can never be closed again.